Oh boy.
So, on that somewhat positive last note, we are now down in the main hotel area where we actually get more voices than normal.
I would just like to point out that I have not followed the layout of this hotel one bit.
It's a very simple layout. It's the main rooms are just corridors, like one single corridor with stairs.
Yeah,
And then down the stairs to the main area. That's all.
I'm gathering that, but I just have no clue where we are, or where we're going, or where we've been, or any of that.
So on the other side of the wall to our right, is bathrooms, and beyond those bathrooms is where our brother was, like where his mobile was. So we're like going in a circle, basically.
Oh, we're in the breakers right now.
Yeah.
Where are we actually going at the moment? Like, where's our next area
train
for
whistle.
progression?
Well, I just thought I'd stop in here to pick up the electromag tracker. But right now, what the player is ostensibly doing is just exploring the main floor of the hotel, see what he can find.
Yeah, literally just wandering around grabbing everything for no better reason than because
we really want to find our brother.
You wouldn't think you'd have to resort to kleptomania to find your brother.
It's an adventure game.
Yeah. This seems to be a recurring, issue with adventure game protagonists is kleptomania.
Well, to be fair, we've only picked up 7 items. And, not all of them are kleptomania. Like, we got the coins legitimately.
The issue is that there's no reason for the protagonist of the story to pick these things up.
Well, if you're looking for your brother, keys make sense. The lantern makes
Maybe.
sense. The screwdriver kind of makes sense.
Like,
Honestly, this is not too bad.
If we know that we're going... I don't know about you, but if I'm just walking around in a hotel, for example, if I see a screwdriver, I don't think, oh, I'm going to need to use that screwdriver to open a suitcase.
Paper costs money, Betty, so
remember
don't
that box
waste it.
upstairs
Stop
with the 7
doodling and
things?
drawing on it.
Yeah, we've just solved the puzzle. Like, that's the order that we have to click those bits of the puzzle.
What?
We're going to go right upstairs and solve it right now. So so the thing you saw on the blotter paper, all those numbers on top of the little arrow squiggly thing.
That looked incomprehensible.
If you go back and pause the video when it's uploaded, you'll see it.
I'm not going to do that, but...
Surely someone will. Anyways,
yeah.
It told us the order in which to press these things.
Is there any actual way to open that before you see that paper?
Yeah. I just was thinking I'd play by the rules at that point, so I didn't.
So, for one specific puzzle...
I'm going in logical order, yes.
I
really
see,
probably...
now you're literally just making it more confusing.
Okay, but also I want to do it because then we get the phone scares if I keep going up and down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
Those matter, right? Congratulations, you scared me harder than the actual phone call.
What was that it?
Yeah. I will say this, I do like the sound design in that the creature makes these very echoey sounds that very suddenly go very present.
Uh-huh.
I think that's a cool touch. It's always going in and out of echo chamber to in your ear, that kind of thing. That's a cool touch. It's just too bad it's not enough.
I would ask why this creature is using a telephone.
Presumably he's in the process of attacking someone who's trying to use the phone.
Uh-huh.
That'll make sense when we next go answer the phone.
Okay.
Okay, so remember what I mentioned about like the crispy papers, like
Yeah.
burned
Right.
to perfect perfection? Yeah, it's about to happen again.
Well, third time's the charm.
Because
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, because Betty told Edith to crisp up the last few pages of the complaints because she didn't want to have to be reminded about that cow, Matilda Fly.
Well, I get all of my nutrition from just heartily cooked papers.
Yeah, they see on the back of this piece of paper, it's like, that cow Miss Fly thinks she's an actress. Burn the complaints book.
Wow.
I like how it's just a roach. It's just a roach.
Ew.
They're just there.
Ew.
Now, you might notice the thing in the bottom left is like jumping, because that means that we're within 2 meters of a electromagnetic disturbance. But this never seems to mean anything. It means that you might someone might say something, or you might hear a whoosh, but otherwise it doesn't mean anything.
Goose in a hose pot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like Gaelic or something, like ye old English.
Now, hold on a second. Those are two different things.
I know. I never said I was very good at my British stereotypes.
Now you're gonna offend all of the Irish people.
What's an
for
Irish?
calling them British.
What's an Irish?
Oh no!
Is an Irishman like that monk we saw in Beyond Atlantis?
That monk. Yeah, precisely.
Okay, so
I'm a bit Irish.
Okay, so like those tables, notice how they all had a different like design on them?
I assume that's relevant though.
Yeah, that's the code in the basement. You have to figure out the order of the tables and the order of the tables and their icons like matter for a padlock. Okay, remember how I said the boiler would give you brain hemorrhage? We turned on the water to the first floor, and I was gonna like give you brain hemorrhage. I've said. Well, this is where the hemorrhage occurs. I was so ticked when I found that one out.
Oh, guys, that's.
I love this scare because it's so not scary. That's right. We just called for the time.
You can't see me, but I just have the biggest smile on my face right now.
Isn't it wonderful?
At the time of the dial.
The bar.
Oh, okay.
Well,
There are a lot of just like non sequitur sounds that this game throws at the player.
Well, like this is the bar ambience back when there was people in it. Before the Dark Fall thing like suddenly popped in and ate everyone.
I get that, but still, there are a lot of just random sounds that the game throws at the player.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, in fairness, it's
like that.
Again, in fairness, it's better than the violin sting. And so by that token, it's better than what the majority of horror games
On Newgrounds. I failed.
and modern horror games do. Like even Dead Space, you know, I liked Dead Space, but
Not to interrupt you, but we just played Knees at Mother Brown and Taima appeared. And we know it's Taima
Yeah.
because it's written on the wall.
tick and talk and tick and talk.
Okay, what were you saying? You love Dead Space?
I really enjoyed Dead Space, but there is not a single time in that game that you do not know when you're being attacked by a monster because you always get the violence
Are you
thing.
there?
Oh, dang it.
Who are you? What do you want? I'd leave this place if I were you. If you know what's good for
If you
you.
know what's good for you.
This game has the opposite problem in that it's full of violence things and no attacks.
Yeah, so actually that I was gonna ask, is there a death state in this game?
There is not a death state in this game.
So we just
Like-
turn the light off.
Yeah. When you get to like the one really dangerous zone, it's like totally like everyone gets here and they die. You have the option, and you will use the option. Like if you're playing the first time, you will use the option of turning around and leaving, finding more stuff, and then going back.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that makes it sound like you can actually die, though, if you just barrel on ahead.
Well, no, like you get to the big bad, and then it's like in front of you, and it's like expecting you to like do the thing to kill it. And if you don't have all the info you need, you can just turn around and leave.
Does it just stand there and do nothing?
Yeah. That is the one true flaw of the game, is that there is no death state. There is no real danger. It just goes for... Jeez.
Who are you?
This one gets me because it does... You can see on the bottom, it says, like, say. But no matter what you say, nothing happens.
Huh.
So, you found my little secret.
That's right.
Whoa.
Miss Grable is a bank robber.
Those are, interesting banknotes. I mean, I suppose I don't know what English currency looks like, but
She 40s English currency.
yeah, those are very interesting. Again, there's so many just... Why are there so many random sounds?
No, that wah thing was the spirits that were, like, going up and out of the floor. They, like, all fled. They fled because you found the secret. So they're flying away very fast.
Sounds. And another phone call.
It knows what you're doing. You should leave. Your brother's waiting for you, don't you know? Don't worry, you might be joining him soon.
I don't understand, because, like, Timothy Pike knows that you're trying to help them, and Niles Danvers, like, tries to help you. This Edith just is like, no, you should go away.
I thought that he didn't understand because he's dumb. He doesn't realize that his brother's dead.
Well, no, like, Timothy Pike and Nigel Danvers, like, realize you can help them, that's why they're, like, trying to help you. But Edith is just like, you know, go away if you know it's good for you. Which is weird, because she's a nice lady in the lore. Oh yeah, we just poked the key out of the hole with the screwdriver. Now, I'm really disappointed, because normally there's supposed to be, like, this actually pretty ominous musical, like, music starting, like, right now in this den, but in this recording, it just never starts.
It didn't
We get
didn't
breathing.
trigger.
We get breathing sounds. Okay, so I should explain, by the way, Arthur went off to the war, and then he got killed there. Like, he knew about the evil in the basement, which is probably why he ran off to
Whoa.
war. Hi, Arthur.
Yeah.
So he died, like, in war, so that's why he didn't disappear
The
with the
weekly
rest.
gossip.
So yeah, it's like, this is where they're catching on the fact that Gloria Grable might actually be a very bad lady, but they find out just a bit too late.
Grable garble. Reliable garg. Barlia
Barbia.
lobel.
Arable
Aloria.
Barbie.
Wow.
So, yeah, like right here as we pick up the journal that I'm about to pick up, like there's supposed to be like this really ominous, actual scary music going on, like slowly pulling you as you realize what's happening. But it didn't happen.
So it kind of ruins the atmosphere of trying to read through this very long journal.
A little bit. It's okay. This is just detailing how he went and found this room under his hotel, and then like it turned out it was full of evil. And he calls the evil the Darkfall. So we can just call the thing the Darkfall now.
This is a very long... Okay, so this is why the game got the subtitle The Journal when it was re-released worldwide.
See that 1, 2, 3, 4? He had Edith stitch a quilt. And you have to remember the colors in that order when you find the quilt. Porn drawer.
Whoa! Dude!
And under the porn is a archaeological dig request.
F. Bates. Of course the name is F. Bates in the porn drawer.
And he probably has his master's degree. Anyways.
Yeah.
So now we're just looking through his Africa slides.
Slides, yeah.
But this next slide is like you can zoom in on it. I did not find that the first 3 playthroughs, by the way. I had to cheat.
Oh, wow. Spooky picture.
Oh, remember that stone we saw in the very beginning? This is where you learn about it.
God. Adventure games. Like, I don't want to be too down on adventure games, but when I think adventure games, this is exactly what comes to mind, and that's why I don't really like them.
You know what? That is fair. I will give you that. Okay, this is actually cool. It's like the one ripped up note, and it seems it's just going to be another one of him saying, "Oh, what have I done? Like, I've unleashed badness. I'm sorry." No, it turns out he actually did. Like, when he went down to destroy it during the music night where everyone disappeared, he screwed up so badly, he let it loose on everyone.
Huh.
And, like, it actually makes this jigsaw, like, worth, like, doing, because it's like, oh, we actually learned something new.
Huh.
But it's a terrible ripping job. Like, how did he rip it like this? Some of it's straight, some of it's curved.
Yeah. That's a very, especially with that little hanging extra in that piece we just slotted in.
Yeah.
It seems to be a kind of a common thing in media where when you have like ripped papers, they're ripped in like the most illogical manner that no actual person would rip it in that way.
I once made like little murder mystery like for like school, and like I had to do like the rip paper thing. I had to like be careful of how I ripped it so that it could be put together again.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay.
And it's just dead silent now.
Yeah. At least the game knows when to use silence.
Oh.
Because this is no longer silent.
I like these things. These little pictograph things are... I really like their inclusion in BioShock Infinite.
Yeah. And they use them pretty well here too.
Yeah, it's a cool way to kind of convey some information.
Now, I just would like to point out that we can see in this one as well. The spirit thing is moving at a faster frame rate than the device.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of want to say that could be intentional just because spooky, but I don't think it is.
They just didn't account for that. Oh, that's funny.
I like this one. This one is like one of those flavor ones that's pointless, but it just shows like, oh, and George Crabtree liked trees. As shown by him literally...
to his name, yeah.
He literally just takes a small video of trees.
True to his name, Crabtree loves trees.
And then, okay, I love this one because there's no indication that you need to view the fourth one and remember what's on it until like the very end.
So there is relevant information on these things.
Only this
Trial
one.
2.
And
Elements.
it's called elements, but these aren't the elements.
Oh.
This is fire, yes.
Huh?
Lightning, no.
Lightning. Clouds.
Clouds, kind of.
And
And water,
what?
yes.
but the only way you can make clouds stretch to be an element
Is air.
well
Like, it's
Well,
supposed to
clouds-
be air.
cloud, yeah, I get that it's supposed to be air, but cloud specifically would be water.
To be fair, this is 47. Do you think maybe that wasn't as common knowledge as it is now? Maybe? Nah, they knew.
Earth, wind, fire, and water.
Except instead of earth, it's lightning.
Yeah, And are I don't know.
Remember how I mentioned the quilt? I also never figured this out. But the quilt is over here.
Oh yeah, right there.
You can zoom in on it and like it's green, blue, purple, red.
Uh-huh.
Too bad Polly Nigel didn't put a camera in that room.
Oh, the phone's not ringing this time.
I'm concerned. But that's okay because now we're going to the basement.
That seems like a very bad idea to me.
You'd be correct. It took me the longest time to find the basement the first time. Okay, this is where those tables in the dining room come back into play. Because if you remembered the symbols and like tables 1 through 5, then you'd know that the bottom button here is not real, and you have to just put the rest of them in order.
Ugh.
Not the best puzzle in the game.
I like that confirmation sound there.
Yeah, it's like machinery from the 40s, I suppose. Now, this is actually cool. It's a dark room, and you know, a dark room in the basement in a ghost hunting game is totally a good idea. Yeah. And,
legitimately a good idea?
Like, legitimately a good idea. And, like, here's Nigel Danvers saying, like, these photos are fantastic. I'm glad I found them. And these are, again, a reminder that we didn't get to see this stuff.
Oh.
Like, this would have made for some more, good adventure game
Spooky.
scares.
Yeah. That's,
Like, this is what George Crabtree saw.
coming back to my my stance on saying that they put all of their effort into the lore and environment design and then didn't bother with the narrative and plot and puzzles and everything else.
Yeah, this is probably, like, again, we just keep seeing all these crazy scares that everyone else saw, and I don't know, the Darkfall seems to like us. It doesn't want to, like, kill us because it's free. It could be chasing us, but it just chooses not to.
It's
you can walk right up to its face and then, like, turn around and walk away, and it's like, whatever.
It mellowed out after almost 60 years in a haunted hotel.
And then eating
whatever.
an architect and 2 ghost hunters.
Yeah. Well,
And then the architect's brother / sister shows up, and you know, whatever.
It didn't finish off Nigel though. So.
Well, that's the end. The end will explain.
That's high expectations right there.
Anyways, yeah. So here's like the area we couldn't get to until we like saw on the scanner exactly where the cavern was. Now here the game almost reaches like Beyond Atlantis dumb, like insane ending randomness, but
God, what have we done?
it's just rooted enough in reality for me to give it a pass.
As long as it's not Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, I'm okay.
No, it's just a hallway of cult.
Now, are these all the what? So are these all the like symbols and everything?
No. We have to press these colors in order that we saw on the quilt.
Oh.
And the next one we have to, like the elements that we saw, we have to click them in the correct order of elements.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I'm done looking at these walls.
Uh-huh.
And you can solve this by accident because the answer is like the natural clicking order. Fire, thunder, and air, wind, and then water. It's just the natural clicking order, and it's correct.
Made that really hard for you.
And like here's the final journal of George Crabtree as he went to try to fix it and totally screwed everything up.
Ice cold. I touched the wall. Oh wait, he's probably got an English accent.
I have no idea why he sat there writing all this when he's literally staring death in the face.
The feeding is over.
Now, remember how I mentioned didgeridoos to you before?
Yeah.
You're not prepared for this. Replicate.
Oh, what? Is that just trial and error?
No, that was like you're trial and error, but you just have to replicate the thing you heard on the wall. Okay, so remember all those symbols that we've been collecting and learning the lyrics of?
Yeah, sure. Oh.
This is happening.
Oh. That's actually, that's kind of cool.
Oh, by the way, just for your information, this is actually kind of creepy. See all the heads in the pillars?
Yeah.
Those are all people that got eaten.
Huh.
You're staring the Darkfall in the face right now. It's the green thing.
Does it explain that those are the,
Yeah, the final journal that we just saw in the hallway back there. Yeah, it says like all those heads of the people that got killed.
Huh. And they're puking green water.
Yeah, he's feeding off their souls. Yeah, so we're saying the 12 lyrics in the correct order.
Yeah.
To the thing. And that's the end. After this lyric.
Yeah.
Raka.
Sounds like one of those big, like, bendy straws. Oh, and poof.
One after another, or lower their arms. And this could have been a really creepy room, but then, I don't know. It just doesn't quite do it for me.
They're just gone.
Wait, no, here they are again. In the best moment.
Good evening. Betcha very well tonight.
Jolly good.
That was the most British thing.
You did it. I knew you could. I can go home now. Well, you know what I mean. Me dad is dead and buried. Perhaps he'll be waiting for me. With me mum as well. You stopped the dark fall spreading. It's trapped again, where it belongs.
It had like 60
You may as well
years of
leave too.
freedom.
There's nothing here for you now. Time you had a rest, I think. One last thing though.
She's never went
Things
anywhere.
don't have to turn out as they did. You'll find out what I mean soon. Bye.
But yeah, that was the most British ending ever. Just a whole bunch of jolly good fellow stuff coming spilling out of the well.
Hello, it's me, your brother. I've got something important to tell you. Well, I'll have to tell you now.
Oh, this is the best line.
Completely forgotten. Well, it can't have been that important after all.
Not at all.
Well,
Terribly sorry to have
I'm
bothered
going to be
you.
back in a couple of days anyway. The station and hotel redevelopment for the Crabtree Estate's gone, well, better than planned. No surprises. When I get back, I think I owe you a drink or two. Haven't seen you for a while. Been neglecting you. Okay, I'll see you when I get back. Bye.
And that's why Nigel Danvers is still alive, because he got uneaten. You can turn down your volume now.
I did not understand literally any of that.
Okay, what happened was after we trapped it, it unate everyone. Like,
well, no.
Butterfly effect will kill us all, but it's okay.
I just mean anything that I just saw. Admittedly, I would probably understand it better had I played it myself, but wow, just wow. Philip Philippou. Historical research.
The lore guy.
Yeah, well, Philip Philippou put in a lot of work. Michael Ivins, not so much. He just had that one violent sting.
Well, he's playing this right now. It counts.
Give him credit where it's due.
Yeah, anyways, what'd you think of the game?
I mean, it was less nonsensical than Beyond Atlantis.
That is literally the faintest praise I've ever heard in my life.
Darkling Room Classics.
Thank you very much, Darkling Room. Have a good night.